Ladies all around the world, listen up. We're looking for you. The time has come to be unstoppable together. The danger of executive women is worrying we're not enough, obsessed with perfection and failing to perform. You're in the right place. It's now time to be unstoppable together with Connie Fife. She was the director of the United States Chamber of Commerce and CEO of Girl Scouts USA. Sit down, squat down, or lie down. It's time for Up or Out, all business with Connie Fife, your unstoppable diva and chair of the Fife Group, helping women in leadership achieve excellence and be unstoppable together.
And hello, this is Connie Fife, your unstoppable diva, and you're listening to Up or Out with Connie. And you can hear us live on SiriusXM, iHeartRadio, iTunes Network, Stitcher, over 1,800 global networks in 145 countries, and we are continuing to grow. It's huge. We are blowing out the seams. It's so crazy around here, but we're all about helping you find your true path to success, help you achieve excellence, and so we can all be unstoppable together. So our quote for today is, make today ridiculously amazing. Be amazing today. And that is from an unknown author. Now, I do have a special for you. I don't want to say special offer, blue light offer, whatever it is. I'm giving away my book, the Be Unstoppable Freedom Journal. I normally give it within our mentoring and our coaching clients, but they've been sharing it with others, and I've been getting a lot of emails and phone calls from folks asking for a copy. And so what I did, I reached out to my publisher, and I got 2,000 copies that are sitting here waiting for you. So stick around to the end of the show. I'll tell you how to get your copy, and it's going to be really fun, really exciting. So I'm going to take a really quick sponsor break, and we will be back with today's guest. Hi, this is Connie Fife, your unstoppable diva, your host of Up or Out with Connie. I am thrilled to be a headline show on C-Suite Network, where you can grow your brand, grow your tribe, and be unstoppable. We are the hottest podcast for entrepreneurs, C-level executives, and market leaders. And you can hear me each week right here on the C-Suite Network. Also on Conscious Business Network, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, SiriusXM, and over 900 stations around the globe. Be sure to follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Thanks for listening. Be bold, be connected, and be unstoppable. And we're back, and you're listening to Up or Out with Connie. So turn up the volume, because with me right now, I have a gentleman who is leading and growing the premier mobile learning and enterprise app. It's a company that's focused on healthcare, and he's been expanding into new business segments and international markets with organizations that are also investing in their people. And there's a number of things that we're going to be talking about that will help you scale, help you raise your business. So welcome to the show, Derek Lundsten.
Thank you so much, Connie. It's really awesome to be here with you, and really ridiculously awesome to be here.
Ridiculously day. I feel like that today. It's been like a crazy day, and I feel like I'm ridiculously running around trying to get things done. So you've pioneered a market in providing the personalized mobile education and training technologies, which are helping corporate leaders excel in their jobs, which I love to hear, because it's all about that performance and being that best leader that they can be. So tell me more about how your instrument is doing that.
Yeah, so it's a great starting point to when we launched the business was around the time that the iPad came to market as a consumer tool, and companies saw the opportunity to use that tool to deliver corporate-based tools and frameworks. And at that point, really when Scrimmage came to market and built the platform that we're using now and have continued to expand and innovate on to deliver all different types of content. And we use a variety of different techniques in our platform, Connie, from gamification to social learning for peer-to-peer learning to micro-training and learning, so you can distribute all different types of content to that user or to that learner style. And it makes it so it's more engaging, so that they come back to learn that corporate content on their own time, their own training all the time. So that's really
So do you see this fully taking over training in terms of sitting in a classroom for several hours and doing training programs? You see it taking that over? Because, I mean, let's face it, people are busy.
I think it's complementary. I think we've definitely seen a shift to the companies are reducing the amount of time that are spending in classroom training, and they're moving more and more frequently to video-based training, which you can deliver through our platform. But at the same time, I think there's also a desire to connect person to person, and I think forums like that will still exist, and I think there's an opportunity to do that. But I think more and more you're seeing mobile and tools like ours play a more important or fundamental role in delivering that learning content. So I don't think it's going to replace it outright. In fact, I hope it doesn't, but I think it can play a hugely supportive role in terms of kind of doubling the investment that they're making for those live events and creating a sustainment mechanism from those learning events, if that makes sense.
It does, and I like how you say that it complements it, but then it builds out that sustainability program. Because I mean, I have a program; it's a year-long program, and we're actually taking a look at that, and we've reduced it down. We've created it into a 90-day program through mobile, but we're still hearing from some of our clients that we really like that face-to-face interaction too. But how can you build that in with a sustainable program? So go back to time after time.
Yeah, and one thing I'll actually mention, not to get too much in the product, but we actually have built in kind of a classroom feature. So in our platform, there's like a classroom tool where you have your personalized agenda with all your workbooks and all your collateral and all your material. So you have that as your digital, your binder, right? And you have it on your phone, tablet. And then to your point, as you're kind of coming back throughout the next 90 days, you can get videos, you can watch, you can get games, you can communicate peer-to-peer, you can share content on a relevant topic or best practice. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it.
Yeah, it sounds like. Now, how does somebody measure that? So, that's always the first question when you're, selling into a company, selling into a corporation. It's, they call, they want to hire you, but then the big question is always, what's the ROI? How do we measure this?
I'm so excited that you brought that up, actually, because what we've found is that we actually have two different methods that with our platform, and it's kind of awesome because it's ridiculously awesome actually because it's showing a simultaneous cost savings, right? So your point, when we're moving the travel budget out and reducing that to virtual training, you're taking a big cost down, right? So we actually have a case study that we're submitting to for a business review that shows, essentially an 80% reduction in those costs, right? And at the same time, this is what's even better. At the same time, because you now have given them a tool that they're carrying around with them all the time, they're going back to it frequently and they're retaining the information. So we've shown that the speed for a new hire to get competent more quickly is reduced, right? The level of interactions that you're having on a day-to-day basis with your users is increased. The experience of the customer in terms of the preparedness and the perception and the customer experience is better. Right. And so you're getting all these different metrics. We're tracking how people are interacting with the platform and how they're performing, both on their exams and their quizzes, as well as their performance in their job, their questions. So we're showing tangible savings, tangible success, same application, which is really interesting as it appeals to a really broad spectrum of leaders. Those are looking for efficiencies and those are looking for growth. All the same tool, right?
So you're really expediting, helping them scale business, scale the people, scale the new hires, and onboarding them even quicker, and so it can enhance the customer experience. So your technology, is this technology specific to your organization, to your platform, or are you building out technologies for other companies to put their own training material onto a similar platform?
So that's actually the way it's designed to be done, Connie. So the model is that it's a platform that can be utilized by any company that has employees. Right. Within that platform, we can configure it to look and feel the way that they want it, to distribute content to the users that they want, even down to the individual level, right? We can each have an app, and then that content in the app is geared towards whatever you need to learn about in your role. So if you're a new hire or you've been there a 30-year senior executive, you're going to have different content experiences, and we can control all that. And the users of our clients, the companies themselves, can control that, right? So to your point, it's everyone from Fortune 100, which are a lot of our customers, down to startups and individual thought leaders that want to distribute their content.
Okay. Okay. So I seen it in some of your material that you also talk about training industry magazine.
Yes.
So share. I want you to share all of your accolades because I'm really interested in what you're doing.
Awesome. Well, so you just mentioned it in the last 2 weeks, we were just acknowledged by Training Industry Magazine,
Right.
the top 20 learning delivery platform.
Okay.
It's awesome because last year we were actually on Training Industry Magazine's watch list for a training industry platform as well as their gamification platform. So we've now jumped onto the list with some really big players, leading Accenture, things like that. They're in that space. So we're really happy with the type of organizations that we're in that name with.
That you're that you're bumping shoulders with, because that's what I had caught, because I was I stay on top of some of these industry magazines, and I caught you and the excellence in innovation, that you're recognized for excellence in innovation, and then finalist by LTEN.
Exactly. So excellence innovation is our second year in a row with 2 different customers as examples for that.
Okay.
And then we also won a gold Brandon Hall Award. So in the learning space, that's a kind of like a Gartner-esque or a company like that does specific to learning and training. So we won a gold award, which is the highest award you can get for any category.
Right.
And we've also been recognized by a number of organizations. Salesforce.com, we were a Dreamforce success story a couple of years ago.
Yes.
It's we keep receiving the Association for Talent Development. Again,
yeah, it just keeps going up. Actually, you're going to love this. That's my husband. He's the one that comes home with a lot of these industry magazines. He's in the aerospace industry, and he pointed you out to me, and he's like, "Hey, you really need to get this guy on your show." And I'm like, "I already got him."
I love it. That's really cool.
So he's like, "Oh, okay."
That's awesome.
So that was cool. Well, I need to take a really quick break. We need to recognize another sponsor, and just hang in there just a few minutes, and we'll be right back with Derek, and he's going to share more about his talents and share a little bit more about him. Stay tuned.
Are you an entrepreneur looking for more qualified leads? Podcasting is a great way to do that.
The podcast you're listening to right now is produced by Turnkey Podcasts, and we can do the same for you.
Over 100 million people listen to podcasts every month. 85% listen to the entire episode. Interview-based selling is 10 times more effective than traditional marketing campaigns.
Step into the new media space and let podcasting be your marketing, business development, and lead generation tool. Turnkey Podcasts can take you from concept to launch. Instead of taking months, we can help you get there in as little as 30 days. After the launch, we do all of your editing, production, voiceover guy, royalty-free music. The bottom line is we're going to help you generate more qualified leads using podcasting. If you have a podcast already, we can show you how to better monetize it.
Go to turnkeypodcast.com/contact for a free consultation to learn more. Turnkeypodcast.com. You need more qualified leads for your business. Let us help you find them.
And we're back, and you're listening to Up or Out with WCONNIE, and joining us today is Derek Lundsten. This guy's all about technology, and I'm finding myself to be a technology geek. And I never in a million years thought that I would be. But as an entrepreneurial leader, you really need to stay current. You need to really know what resources, what tools are out there that you can get access to. And Derek and I, we're going to be having a conversation offline, because I do want to learn more about his program and his software packages. So Derek, this is the segment where we put our guest in the hot seat, and we're going to learn more about you. People want to know about you, and not just the business, to see where you come from and what you're thinking, what your thoughts are. So are you ready?
I am ready. Okay,
all right, so we're going to start easy. What's your favorite quote? Success quote, leadership quote? What is it that keeps you going every day?
So one of the ones that I've shared before, and there's a lot of quotes, but the one is, whether you believe you can or believe you can't, you're right? And I think it tucks to the mindset aspect of business and just in general, right? And so maintaining a positive outlook, maintaining visualization of success, those things are really important, which I think actually parlays into what we do around education and personal development. But that's one of many that I use to kind of guide what I do.
Nice. That's a nice one. So did you know, I know before you were in business development, and very successfully from everything that I've seen that you've done. But did you know what you wanted to do right from the very start?
No, it's actually quite the opposite.
Well, tell me, you wanted to be a doctor or something, right? Or a fireman.
Yeah, I kind of went through all those two phases as a point as a kid, but honestly,
Okay.
I really didn't know. And frankly, when I went to school, to college, I really didn't know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Other than I had a lot of energy. In fact, I wasn't even sure I wanted to go to college. I was more interested in going to the military because I thought they had adventures and travel
okay.
the world and did that. So that was actually a possibility. But I did go to school and I studied philosophy and psychology because I couldn't sit still, and that was a way to kind of get my mind going. And I was just,
And I'm sure people were saying, "What are you going to do with that?"
they did say that exactly. Somebody said that. And I think, I did kind of always have that dream to be an entrepreneur, but that came later. I think ultimately what just led my career was I love connecting with people, and I like to learn about people, and I like to learn. I'm just a curious person.
Well, psychology was good for that.
Yeah, for sure. And philosophy too, because it's all about meaning. Right? I was really into how you define meaning. And so just kind of exploring what life has to offer was a big part. Right. The path just kind of naturally has unfolded and continues to unfold as I kind of continue to push my own personal limits and more people. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you kind of, well, you explored. What really, is what we need to do. The day of stepping out of college and going into a corporate job doesn't happen like that anymore. With our grandparents and, people before us, they took a job and they stayed there forever. And I do joke about the fireman because actually my ex-husband, who I'm good friends with now, he came out of he didn't finish college, and then he went in and he was into technology, and now he's a fireman.
That's so great.
He's like, I went to the job I was always meant to do. So
yeah,
he loves what he's doing. He loves what he's doing. So do you recall that aha moment when you said, I got this, I know exactly what it is that I'm going to be doing?
I haven't no. So I don't remember an aha moment. So I think, but the moment was when I got pushed to get into entrepreneurship. I remember that moment very vividly because I had some plans to acquire a business with some other colleagues, and it didn't go as planned. And at that point, I had to make a decision: am I going to go get another job, or am I going to take the jump? And at that point, I said wholeheartedly, I'm jumping full-fledged into entrepreneurship, and that's when I started my own business. And then that has just kind of continued to go and keep getting better and better. Yeah. So again, it's kind of interesting. I keep joking about kind of letting life guide you a little bit, letting guide me, and it keeps responding, so to speak, right? So I just kind of follow that.
Well, that's good, and that you're allowing that guidance to happen, and you're going with it, you're flowing with it. So what words of wisdom would you have to someone who is, back at that place where you were, that's saying, I'm not quite sure where to go to pursue my path to success? What words of wisdom would you have for them?
So I don't know that they're wise, but they're real. Is to your point, just explore. I think the opportunity, especially for people that are entering the workforce or leaving school or whatever.
Right.
Access to information is unlike ever before, and I feel like society's willingness to allow for failure and to let people figure it out as they go, and to make adjustments as they go, and to not be locked in at one company or one path has expanded tremendously, even just in the 15 years that I've been in the corporate world, right? And so,
and it has, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think just the ability to take risks early and often, and know that you have time to work through it is a really comforting thing. That if I were to look back, where I am now, it's at this point in my life, and kind of starting over, I would be traveling and experiencing as much as I could, knowing that the responsibility just isn't there, and there's so much you can learn and do and experience that is available now. There's
There's so many opportunities out there. It's really wonderful. How many opportunities that you can go and experience, and okay, well, I try this and not quite it, and keep moving until you find that position that you really want, or until you have those responsibilities that, you need to be concerned about. thank you for sharing. So one more question is.
One more point though. Sorry, Connie. One more thing.
Sure.
Whatever I would do it, whatever someone decides to do, make sure you pursue it like 100%. Like put everything into it, because especially with work, like don't just partway do it. Really go in and do it, right? And I think that's something that when you work hard or you try hard or whatever, that's when things start to just kind of happen. Right?
That great advice. I mean, that's really great advice. Somebody had said to me one time when I was still trying to debate if I wanted to be an engineer, an entrepreneur after leaving corporate. I mean, for so many years, and it was hard to make that transition. And somebody said that to me. They said, are you all in, or do you only have a toe in the water? Because if you only have a toe in the water, you're never going to be successful.
Totally agree with that.
I mean, in that instant, I changed my mindset and said, I'm all in. Like, what is he talking about? I'm all in.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you have to be to truly be successful, especially in entrepreneurship. I think in life in general, it helps in all areas. I mean, I can even speak for myself. I waited a long time to get married, but once I committed, I was in, and then
you were committed.
And then it's in, right? And then and now we're having our first baby in January. So I mean,
congratulations! How sweet. So how can our listeners find out more about you and the work that you're doing?
Well, I'm all over social media. I'm on LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Our website, WeScrimmage.com. My email, Derek@WeScrimmage.com. I'm very accessible. I make it a point to be available, and I love talking with people.
Nice.
From all levels, right? And people in whatever way I can. That's a big part of what I do is helping people generally. That's personality. Yeah,
that's great. And I'll get my personal email out to some people, and they're like, "This is your personal email?" I'm like, "Yep." Call me in. Here's my phone number.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be accessible. Well, a big thank you to Derek Lundsten, risk taker, pioneer, and Derek, you're just making it happen. Like you're all over the place. I just love it. I just love it. And I think we've run into each other several times in several different types of events or programs.
Absolutely.
So thank you for being here. You've been awesome. You've been wonderful.
Thanks for having me. It's a ridiculously fun interview.
Well, I am ridiculously happy that you were here today. So our time goes by so quickly. I have so much fun when we have our guests on the show. Thank you all for being part of our community. Keep sending in your success stories and questions. And we want to share your stories, and we will always be helping others and helping them be motivated to take action. So remember, subscribe on iTunes because you don't want to miss any of the good stuff. And if you want to stay in tune, head on over to our Facebook page, Upper Out Network, because every day I and our guests, we're adding tools, we're adding tips on how you can build and scale your business, your entrepreneurial business, and help you either move up in corporate, be heard in the boardroom, or if you want to get out and do it the entrepreneurial way, we got you covered. We got all the information there. And we're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, and again, iTunes and SiriusXM and Stitcher, and the numbers are crazy. So make sure that you are connecting with us. Now, for the book giveaway, send me an email. Send it to me, and you're going to send it to Team5, TEAMPHEIFF, and that will come directly to me at fifegroup.com. And in the subject line, put Freedom Journal. I will autograph it, and I will personally get that out in the mail. Now, again, it's free. I do ask that you do pay the $10 shipping. So when you email me, I'll send you a link to register so you can cover the shipping charge on that. Otherwise, the rest of it is all yours. It's free. If you know anybody that wants a copy, tell them, come on over, listen to Upper Out with Connie, and we'll make sure that they get a copy as well. So it's been great being here with you. Ask yourself if you could do something different. To get a different result, what would you be doing right now? What would you ridiculously be doing right now to get a different result? This is Connie, your unstoppable diva, and you're listening to Up or Out with Connie. Until next time, be bold, be connected, and be unstoppable together.